All right, continuing on with our course here, DJ Vic Vapor with you. And let's take a look at the general layout and understand what we're looking at here in Logic Pro 10. So real quick, we've got up on the left here, we've got a couple buttons. Our first one is our library. It's going to give us access to different instruments and elements and things like that throughout our library. And next we have inspector right here. And then you have a very cool help menu. So when you go around, if you have that activated maybe in your earlier days, if you're new to Logic Pro, it's great to be able to touch stuff, and it gives you a general description of what you're accessing there as far as hovering over stuff. But as you get to learn Logic Pro, it's kind of something it can be a little bit annoying, is always seeing the literature scrolling around there. So we'll turn that guy back off. Here we've got another control bar right here, access to a little bit more detailed information. We'll probably be taking a look at that throughout the course. We've got smart controls, and we don't have any plugins open. If we do, the smart controls would be accessed right there. We've got our mixer that we looked at a little bit earlier in the tutorials in the course, so access to mixers. And here we've got our editor tools, things like that for our piano roll, score, step editor, things like that. So here you've got rewind, fast forward, stop, play, and record. Some of these buttons are pretty accessible through like keyboard shortcuts, and as you get more and more familiar with Logic Pro, you find yourself not really going here too often to really access those. You quickly can access them on your keyboard. So along here you've got your in your transport bar or playhead information, where you're at in the bar, the beat, the divisions and things like that, the tempo, the key, and the time signature. And then you've got an additional drop down menu here to access further details. You've got a loop or a recycle button. You've got a replace, a tuner, a solo. You've got your count in and your metronome or click. Over here we've got access to all of our information as far as files. We've got project files, media files, and then we've got all our files on our computer. So these would be things like from iTunes and things like that, and any project files, if you had a project open, would be starting to get listed for you right there. And we explored Apple loops a little bit earlier in the course, but here is our access to our Apple loops. This is a great place for you if you're creating a project that you want to share with other Logic Pro 10 users. You can put specific notes within the notepad here, and they'll be accessible to the next producer or engineer, whoever is working on sharing your project. Gives them notes and tips for advice. So, and last but not least, we have the list editors. Kind of forgot what it was titled there. Get your event, your marker, your tempo, and your signature tools. Things like that. We'll probably be accessing that a little bit further in the course. So, all right, so what do we got down here? We've got the main window. Really, really cool. This is actually something you'll spend most of your time and all of your time probably working in this area. So it's going to be where you're doing any of your editing, arranging, recording, and region access, things like that. So along the top we have what's called a ruler bar, and that's going to be available there, and it's also available when you're down in your MIDI editor and things like that. The ruler bar is going to give you an idea where you're at in the length of the project. So all right, now that we've got kind of the general idea done there, let's go ahead and explore the library a little bit further in the course and see what information is important for us to learn about the library. All right, see you in the next tutorial.